Hey, how are you guys? I'm in Australia right now in a little park, very cute, next to the house I'm living in. It's really far up in North Melbourne, so it's further north than the airport, pretty far from the city. Not exactly the ideal place to be, at least if you're commuting into the city to work like I am, but it's all right. And honestly, this park, I just find it really amazing. It's really, really big. It's one of the favorite things about Australia, honestly. Should you come to Australia on a working holiday? If you're watching this, you're probably either from Europe, the US, or Canada. There's other few like Latin American countries, Southeast Asian countries that also offer working holiday opportunities, but I think the vast majority of working holiday makers here in Australia are Italians, Germans, and French people. So, yeah, talking in general, should you come to a working holiday in Australia? I think just overall traveling and having a gap year is a excellent idea. If you're in between high school and college, if you're in between college and actually going to work properly, Australia is just a really good country overall in terms of quality of life. Not even thinking of money yet. There's parks like this everywhere. The previous house I lived in, there were like three parks right next to it. This one is like bigger, a little better, but it's the only one that's like the main one close to the house I'm living right now. It's still amazing, and I don't know, like there's a lot of variety. Like here in Melbourne right now, we're in early April, and tomorrow it's gonna be. I think the high is gonna be 17 Celsius, and the low is gonna be like 9 Celsius. So it's already like kind of cold. If you like a four-season kind of climate, Melbourne would be more for you. Melbourne or Hobart or Adelaide perhaps. But you could definitely go north. You could go to Darwin, to Cairns, to Brisbane, uh, maybe even Perth, and just have like good, warm, climate overall, if that's what you're looking for. In terms of just yeah, your day-to-day living, I feel like the respect and the respect that you have in your workplace here is truly amazing. Like if you come from a more work to live, live to work kind of environment or mentality that is a lot like very common in Canada, in the US, especially in the US, right? In Switzerland maybe, or in a lot of the developing world. What you're gonna notice when you come here is that your managers are more chill. They never like yell at you. They're like sort of your friends in a way. No one like there's not a lot of formality. So like a lot of people who come here, they work in hospitality, and I know that well, if you work in hospitality in some fancy or a little more old style country like France, for example, like there's a lot of little nuances and like people kind of look down on you. I know I felt that in some other countries. In Australia, it's such an egalitarian country, such an egalitarian culture, and like obviously there's going to be people that mistreat you or that look down on you like pretty much anywhere you are. But out of all the countries in the world, I definitely say that this is one of the best countries in the world to do the actual like low level labor, be it hospitality like bartending or waitressing or whatever, or even like construction jobs and all that. Wages are pretty good. It's out of the English-speaking countries, probably the one with the most egalitarian and yet high wages. Like New Zealand also has pretty egalitarian wages, but they're a little lower than here. And I think Canada and the U.S. a lot of more, they're more dispersive in their wages. So like if you're lower wage earner in America and Canada, you probably earn less than you earn in Australia. Whereas uh, if you're a high earner in Canada or America, you're probably earning more than a high earner in Australia. So that's something to consider. In terms of money, there are some caveats. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. I've already talked about it in the previous videos. But minimum wage as of 2025 in Australia is around $25 an hour. But I know nobody who works hospitality who actually gets $25 an hour because everyone works on a casual contract and you get a 25% add-on as soon as you are on a casual contract. So the actual minimum wage is $32, which is really good. Obviously, you have to do conversion to euros or dollars or whatever you're more used to, but it's a pretty good wage. You can definitely live on that. I know people who come here on student visas. They have to pay for the visa. They have to pay for their studies, and they can only work 25 hours a week, and they still manage to like save some money. It's not a lot, but if you like live frugally, if you share a room or if you share like a flat with a private room, and you're willing to commute into work and you like work a little longer hours, maybe at night, it's definitely possible for you to save money. On a working holiday, obviously, you have virtually no limits on your work. You can work as many hours as you want. Even the 6 months to a single employer thing isn't really enforced. So you're really, really free. Obviously, the casual add-on is really good. Superannuation is really good. It's a 12% add-on. Not even a few pre-tax income, but like on top of your income that has to be paid to a fund. But that, along with some other things, are like some things I'd like to make you aware of. So the first thing I think you should know is that you pay a lot more taxes than like typical Australians here. So like for Australians as of right now, the first $18,000 that they make in a year, it's like tax exempt, so they wouldn't have to pay taxes. But working holiday makers do have to pay taxes on that, and it starts at 15%. So Australian and a non-Australian or non-New Zealand citizen working like same job, obviously, if the non-citizen is on a working holiday, they're gonna pay $2,700 extra in taxes just for that. Uh, and even though the Australian and the working holiday maker, or in theory, they make the same amount in superannuation, as soon as working holiday makers leave Australia, they're going to be taxed at 65%, and not 65% on like profits, but 65% on the gross amount in the super fund. So any superannuation that you see being deposited into your fund, you're going to see it. You're going to be like, whoa, I got like an extra $2,000, an extra $3,000. It's going to be cut by like a third. So you're not going to have as much money from your superannuation as you thought you would. I know there's stories about like people getting a load of money after leaving Australia, but all those stories are from before 2017. Maybe your country specifically might have a treaty with Australia that it might be worth looking into. But for most countries, you come on a working holiday, you're not gonna like you're gonna pay more taxes because you're not gonna be considered a proper resident. They have like this non-exemption for working holiday makers, and you're gonna pay more tax on your superannuation as well. Other than that, if you are wanting to come to Australia and not work in a lower level job, if you're not wanting to work in construction or in hospitality or anything like that, I think you might find some problems because a lot of employers, they really are looking for either Australians, preferably, permanent residents. If you're permanent residents, whatever, you can do whatever you want. New Zealand citizens, obviously, they're treated as permanent residents for pretty much all purposes. And maybe a temporary graduate visa. So like if you graduated from a bachelor's degree or from a vocational education and you have 1, 2, 3 years extra that you can stay in Australia, since you have no working limits, they're also like it's a little easier for you to get a job in that sense. If you're on a working holiday, the perception of working holiday makers is you're a backpacker, you're going to be gone in 2 months, you're probably going to leave for your country in a year. Even if you do renew, you're probably only renewing for a year or two. So obviously, if you do renew, unless you're like a UK citizen, you have to do farm work as well. So the perception that employers have, and it is sort of an accurate perception, I understand why they would have that, is that like there's a lot of jobs where like you're going to apply. I worked with marketing previously, and I applied for some marketing jobs, and they explicitly said no working holiday makers. Like you could only apply if you're like on a temporary graduate visa, or on a obviously PR or an Australian citizen. So there's some jobs that are going to be pretty restrictive, and if you think of just picking up your bags, coming to Australia and working holiday, and working the same profession you were working back home, it might not work for you. So those are some considerations I would actually advise you on. But definitely come. It's a fun place. I haven't done my farm work, and it's already past the time where I could do it. So I'm not renewing it for a second year. Probably going to be leaving in around like June, July 2025 for greener grass, I guess. But it was definitely worth it. It was really nice. And yeah, I hope you guys can all come because it's a beautiful, beautiful country. Yeah, enjoy your day.